The old man sat every morning on the same wooden bench by the platform of a quiet train station, a place where the iron rails stretched into the mist like memories that refused to fade. He carried a small brown suitcase, not because he needed to travel, but because it was the last thing she had touched before she left 40 years ago. The townspeople had grown used to him. They would nod politely as they passed, whispering that he was still waiting for the woman who promised to come back one summer morning when the train pulled away, leaving him behind in the fog. He had said he would wait until she returned, even if the years turned his hair white, even if the world forgot his name. And so he waited through seasons that painted the sky in countless colors, through winters that bit his skin and summers that burned his hands, yet his heart kept one fire alive, the memory of her laughter that had once echoed through the station. She had left with tears on her cheeks, a promise in her eyes. She said, "I will come back when the war ends, when the world is kinder, when dreams are safe again." And he had smiled, believing in that promise like a prayer. But the war ended. People rebuilt their lives, and she never came back. The first years, he asked the station master every morning if her name appeared on any ticket list, and every time the answer was no. The second decade, he wrote letters to every city, hoping someone would know where she went. The letters returned unread. The third decade, he began to talk to the trains themselves, telling them to carry his words to her wherever she might be. The trains answered only with whistles and wind. Still he stayed. The wooden bench aged with him, its paint peeling its legs, wobbling under his weight, yet it held him like an old friend. The suitcase on his knees grew lighter as he opened it, less and less afraid that time might steal the scent of her perfume from its lining. Sometimes children came to ask why he waited. He would smile and say, "Because love never misses a train, it just takes the long way home." At night he slept in a small room above the station, lit by a single yellow bulb. Beside his bed hung her photograph, black and white edges frayed but eyes still alive. He would talk to it softly, telling her about the people he met, the trains that came and went, the sunrise that still looked like the day she left. And even though silence answered, he felt her presence breathing through the air. One rainy night, a stranger arrived, soaked and shivering. She was young, but her face carried something familiar. She asked for shelter, and he offered her tea. She noticed the suitcase by his side and asked why he kept it after all these years. He told her the story of the woman he had loved, how she left to care for her family far away, how she promised to return when life was kind again. The young woman listened, tears in her eyes, and when she left the next morning, she said, "I hope she finds her way back." He smiled and whispered, "Maybe she already has, in another form." After that visit, he began to notice small things, a flower blooming near the tracks where nothing had grown before, a melody in the whistle of the trains that sounded like her humming. And once he thought he saw her shadow in the reflection of a passing window, but he did not chase it. He had learned that waiting was its own kind of love. Years later, when the station was set to close, the townspeople gathered to say goodbye. They found the old man sitting on his bench, eyes closed, suitcase beside him, a faint smile on his lips. The last train had come and gone the night before, and some said they saw a woman step off that train wearing a white dress, her hair silver like the moon. She walked straight to him, took his hand, and when the morning light came, both of them were gone. The bench was empty, the suitcase open. Inside it lay a letter written in shaky handwriting. It said, "I waited just as you asked, and I found you just as you promised." The townspeople built a small memorial there, a wooden sign that read, "Love always arrives on time, even if the world runs late." And every year on the same day, a single white flower appears by the tracks. No one plants it, no one waters it, yet it blooms like the memory of a love that never ended. And travelers passing through the quiet town often pause at that spot. They feel something warm in the air, something gentle and eternal. And if they listen closely, they can almost hear the soft whisper of a man and a woman saying, "At last you are home."